So we start with May, June 2022, 3F2. First question.
Oh my God.
Take care. The generation of electricity causes external cost. When we talk about external cost, that's spillover, negative spillover to the third parties. So here they say, who bears these external costs? Third party, I said, okay. The distributors who sell the electricity now, they are suppliers. So it's not to the third party, that's private. The electricity company that produces the electricity is private. The government that subsidizes the production of electricity is still private. The people living in the area where the electricity is generated, those are the third party. So the answer is D. Is it clear?
Very clear.
Question 2. What must equal marginal cost when a profit maximizing firm produces at its allocatively efficient output? MC must be equals to AR, average revenue. So it's A. Clear? Question 3. What might reduce dynamic efficiency in an economy? When we talk about dynamic efficiency, that means you're able to spread your risk. They say government expenditure on enterprise education, reinvestment of profit, rising shareholders' dividends, the increase of innovation. Government expenditure on enterprise education is good for the economy. The economy will be fine. There is dynamism in efficiency there. Reinvestment of profit, it's good for the company, it's good for the firms. Increase in innovation is good. That means there's innovation, new ideas to make profit. But rising shareholder dividends, it means that instead of the profit to be reinvested, the profit is being shared. So that means firms will not have enough money to invent. So that will not bring dynamic efficiency.
Clear.
So the answer, so that means here they are thinking more of the shareholders than research and development or than consumers.
Clear.
So the answer is C.
5.
Question 4.
4 or 5? 4.
Question 3, C. Yeah. Question 4 now. It said in many countries, health authorities are concerned about the harmful effects of smoking cigarettes. Government have imposed high sales tax on cigarettes and have conducted anti-smoke campaign. Why might the quantity of cigarette demanded remain high? That means consumers are irrational. They are irrational consumers. So the answer is C.
Good.
They are addicted. So question 5. What does a budget line show? It shows the minimum combination of two products that a consumer can buy with a given level of income. That we talked about product A, product B, and your ability to buy. So if you have the ability to buy and the product, you can switch to buying product A. If you have the ability to buy, the first thing is that your budget line will shift outward or forward, rightward. And those inferior goods, you stop buying them to start buying normal goods. So that means when you talk about the budget line, you're thinking about two combined products, substitute. Do I have the ability to buy this now or that?
Okay.
So that was question 6. See.
7.
Question 7. Here it says the table provides some details of soft drink industry in the country. Number of firms, number of brands, 5 firms, concentration ratio. What market structure best describes the country's soft drink industry? The company has 250 companies, but 65% of the share of the market is between 5 firms. That's few large firms control. So 245 takes 35%. That's oligopoly.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Okay.
So the answer is C. Question 8. A rock band is due to play at a concert hall. In order to create a good atmosphere, the band's aim is to sell all tickets. Ticket prices are set at the highest price that ensures all tickets will be sold. All tickets will be sold. Sales maximization. 8C. Question 9. What would be most likely to allow the survival of small firms in an economy? For a small firm to survive in an economy, one thing about small firm is that they offer personalized services. So if the highest share of the GDP of that country is from personal services, it means small firms in that country are doing well.
Okay.
So the answer is B. Is it clear?
Very clear.
Question 10. what is a condition for operating a successful cartel? A cartel comes up with bringing up quota on production, on output, and setting a price. So they will be successful here if they strictly enforce production quotas. 11. In 2012, an Australian airline company separated its international and domestic operations into separate companies. The company had been facing increased competition from much larger competitors in international market, but had relatively little competition in domestic markets that had a higher price elasticity of demand, which shows the reason that would support this separation. These economies of scale in the combined company before the separation. Yes, there's these economies of scale. That's why they want to split. Markets can easily be separated by this company. Yes, they can. And the level of competition and price elasticity of in the domestic markets. Yes. So the company will be able to split based on, because they have these economies of scale when they were together, they want to split. The company can also split if the market can be easily separated. That's why they are able to split. And the level of competition, they already said the level of competition in the domestic market has a high price elasticity of demand. So if it has a high price elasticity of demand, it means that prices in that market is based on the quantity, is inelastic, which is based on the level of consumption. We'll go to question 12. It said the diagram shows a firm's marginal and average cost curve. The firm enters a collusive agreement with other firms that they collided in the industry. It is agreed that each firm will charge a common price, which is form of a cartel, at OP. They're going to charge at OP. That's the price will be at OP. And we restrict the level of output. That means they're going to give quotas. That's we call it production quota. They set a production quota at OQ. So the price is at OP, and the production must not exceed OQ. That is the point. Now, the firm decides to cheat in order to maximize its profits. What is its short-run increase in profit? Because the firm is trying to sell at OP and reduce quantity at OQ. So the difference between, because in the short run, they want to cheat to quickly make profits in the short run. There's no way they want to do it. One thing is certain, they cannot increase the price.
Okay.
You get it? They cannot increase the price, but they can produce more quantity, more output. Do you get my point? So what they can do is they find the difference between the price at which they are going to produce is at PHJL. That's when they can produce, where their marginal cost is equal to their average cost. Now, to sell, you have to take away PGNM, because that is the boundary they have. Their price is towards PGH, where we have our marginal cost. And at the bottom of it, we have our average cost. That is the point they can stay. But for them to make a short-term profit, they have to restrict the product, and they have to increase the product in a way that everybody would not know. Because if they are selling at, what you can do is they want you have a price that we can sell, which is everybody's price. We can't sell above that price. But you want to quickly make profits selling at that price. The only thing you can do is to sell more quantities, because nobody knows the quantity you are producing. There's a quota, yes, that you should not produce more than 50. But nobody knows if you have sold to 60 customers or 70 customers. But the only thing they know is that the only thing they can know is about the price. So whoever they talk to they're going to talk about price. One customer, they cannot know how many customers, they cannot put up 50 or 60 customers. But one out of the customers will talk about the price. So price is difficult to change, but quantity is easy to increase.
Yeah.
They are cheating. It's cheating, yes. But the only way they can cheat is to increase the quantity between PG and L.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Did you get it or not?
Yes, I did.
Price cannot be changed because price is known to everybody,
Yeah.
but they can increase the quantity to meet up with the price to make profit.
Yeah.
So the answer is PHGL minus PGNM. Clear?
Yes. So it's C.
Yeah. Question 13 now. It said to reduce road congestion caused by parked cars, a local government introduced a system of tradable parking permits. Households were given a permit allowing them to park one car at the roadside. Households with more than one car would buy extra permits from households with no cars. What is the most likely reason for this policy to fail? This policy is going to fail because each household will have more than even a car, and you're giving them one permit.
Hmm.
Do you get the point I'm
Yeah,
saying here?
yeah.
So it's difficult. A household will have more than one car. We are giving just one car permit, one car park permit to a whole household.
Yes.
So how is that possible? It's difficult. So the system is going to fail. There's no way. So let's see what they say. They say fines are for drivers parking in the areas without a permit within internalize the externality. No, it doesn't have anything to do with that. The local government has a monopoly over the issue of parking permits. It's not about, yeah, they have monopoly, yeah, because it's government that does it. They have monopoly. Those suffering from too many parked cars are compensated by the household owning extra cars. They are not compensated. They're not compensated. Too many household own cars, so the market in permits is very small. Yeah. They have a lot of cars. They have also cannot have just one car, at least maybe two. The minimum is two.
Yeah.
So how do you want them to share the car permit? And you can only have one. So it's difficult. It will fail. The system is not logical. That's the question 14, right?
Yep.
What is not an example of an application of knowledge theory? We said knowledge theory talks about behavioral part of economics, right?
Mm-hmm.
So which one is not talking about behavior here? A chain of coffee shops offer its customer a large coffee if they bring their own reusable cup. It's about behavior. A government imposed an indirect tax on purchase of sugary snacks to try to reduce childhood obesity. Childhood obesity through sugar is demerit good. That is correcting market failure. It's not behavior. A government introduced an opt-out system for organ donation to try to increase the number of organs donated. Yes, it's behavior. A restaurant chain introduces smaller size main courses on its menu to try to reduce the volume of food wastage. It's behavior. So the answer is B. It's market failure. It's not a knowledge theory.
Yeah.
Is it clear?
Yeah.
Question 15. A government wishes to redistribute income from richer citizens to poorer citizens. Government wants to reduce the gap between the rich and the poor.
Mm-hmm.
So which policy is it least likely to use? Government must use, if government uses, government can increase direct taxes. Yeah, because direct taxes are taxes charged on income, on profits, on heritage, on what you inheritance. So you can charge it, yeah, it can reduce the gap between the rich and the poor. 2, increase indirect taxes. Indirect taxes are taxes on consumption. If you are charging taxes on consumption, it will affect the poor. It doesn't reduce the gap between the rich and the poor. The answer is B. Increase subsidies. When government increases subsidies, it makes prices to be affordable. So it reduces income taxes. It reduces the gap between the rich and the poor. So whatever the rich can buy, the poor can also buy. So which is good. Increase transfer payments. So all these, when you increase transfer payments, that means what is coming in from your investment abroad. It's for those that are rich. So A, C, D are for the rich. So B will affect the poor, which means it does not reduce the gap between the rich and the poor. So the answer is B, 15. Is it clear?
Yep.
Question 16. What represents the transfer earnings of the factor enterprise? Enterprise is profit, normal profit, not excess profit. Clear? So it's B. Question 17. The diagram shows the demand for and supply of labor in construction industry. The labor market is initially in equilibrium when the wage is W1. A trade union wishes to increase the wage but does not wish to decrease employment. The union asks for wage W2. The employers offer wage W3. Now, what would be the best policy to enable the trade union to achieve both its aims? For the trade union to achieve this aim, they have to, the only thing they can do for employers to pay and not to reduce number of workers, not to lay off workers, is for employers to, or is for the trade union to talk to their members to increase their outputs, their productivity for wages. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So it's going to be increased marginal revenue productivity and a new equilibrium E. So employers are going to increase the wages. But for them to increase the wages, it will be based on the extra unit they are able to produce. They're not going to, if they're producing the same unit they are producing, they get the same wage. But if they're able to produce extra units, then they will get paid more. So yeah, then I said marginal revenue productivity implies that wage is equal to the value of marginal productivity. So the wage will be paid based on what you are able to produce extra. So you get high pay for that.
Yeah.
Question 18. It said, many governments adopt sustainable economic growth. Many governments adopt sustainable economic growth as a macroeconomic policy aim. What is meant by sustainable economic growth? Economic growth is when sustainable means whatever decisions you take now does not affect the future generation. So the answer is what? C, increasing the current productive potential of the economy without reducing the future productive potential. Is it clear?
Very clear.
Question 19.
What would cause estimates of the money value of measure of economic welfare for a country to be greater than the value of gross national product?
That is only when the value of your non-marketed activities and leisures are not the value of your non-marketed activities and leisure will make your economic welfare be greater than your GNP, because you are supposed to calculate your marketed activities and leisure time to part of your gross national product because they are production too. But if you don't calculate them, it will make your money value to be higher than the GNP. The point is that your money value is what you have in terms of liquidity. But you've forgotten that you spent some time leisure. You spent some time on leisure too, which means money has gone there.
Yeah. So
because you did not calculate the value of where money has gone to, it makes you to think that you have more money. Do you get the point?
Yeah.
So that's why it is.
So it's the
20 now. 20, right?
Yeah.
The data provides information on indicator of the standard of living in 4 countries in 2019 to 2021. 2019, each with a population below 10 million. All right. So the country, we have Croatia, Norway, UAE, and Qatar. Their life expectancy, Norway has the highest life expectancy. Qatar has the highest gross national income per capita. Expected years of schooling, Norway has the highest. And skilled labor force, Norway has 84.1. So let's look at it each one at a time. The life expectancy in Norway is better than the other countries, yes or no?
Yes.
The gross national income. Why we cannot use the gross national income for HDI is that some countries have less population and they have less population and large numbers of rich people or wealthy people. So they're going to have a high GNI per capita. Do you get it?
Yes.
Expected years of schooling, we can use it because education is also part of Human Development Index. Do you get it? And Norway has that better. And the number of skilled labor, Norway has the second highest. So here, based on what we have, Norway is the best. That has the best Human Development Index. We would have chosen Croatia, but it has low GNI and low life expectancy than Norway. Is it clear?
Very true.
But the most important thing about Human Development Index is your life expectancy, the years of schooling, according to what we have here. Then you can
Oh.
talk about the workforce. So the answer is B, clear.
Very clear.
21. What might help improve economic growth in developing countries over the next 5 years? Training. D. Clear, right?
Very clear.
22. An economist once said, if you pay people not to work and tax them, an economist once said, if you pay people not to work and tax them when they do, that means you tax them when they do work. Don't be surprised if you get unemployment. Listen, you're paying people because they don't have job, and you are taxing those that have job. So don't be surprised that unemployment would rise. Why? Because there's going to be more voluntary unemployment. You are encouraging people not to work. That is what the point is saying. Do you get the point?
Yeah.
So that means cyclical unemployment, no. Frictional unemployment, no. Structural, no. Voluntary unemployment will increase because they already know that if they are not working, they get paid for it. If they are working, they get taxed. So it's better not to work. Do you get it? That's voluntary unemployment.
Okay. It's like encouraging people to not get employed.
Yeah.
Yeah, to not work.
Yeah, that's what the point is saying.
Yeah.
D. 23. What is the least likely consequence of a significant rise in unemployment during an economic recession? When there's recession in an economy, it will not affect government expenditure on welfare. Welfare will still be there. But aggregate demand will fall. Revenue in income tax will fall because there's not going to be employment and the economic growth rate will fall. So the only thing that is not going to be affected is the expenditure on welfare, spending on welfare. So government will still spend. Is it clear? 24.
In which context relevant to growth and the money supply is the term taught of currency flow used?
Total currency flow is about the amount the public are spending with the financial sector. The financial sector brings out the money and we spend the money.
We spend the money.
We, yes.
How nice this word is.
So that's D. Clear, right?
Very clear.
25.
What does not change the level of
withdrawals
for the circular flow?
So what do you think doesn't change withdrawals? They said, please read the question again.
What does not change the level of withdrawals for the circular flow of income?
From the circular flow of income. So level of withdrawals means the amount of money that is being taken from the bank account by individuals. So what will not change it? Also, there will be more of their income taken in tax following a rise in the rate of income tax. This reduces what they withdraw. This means they have to pay more tax. It reduces their money, yes or no?
Yep.
Also spending more on imported cars. Yeah, they are withdrawing to buy. So it will increase withdrawal levels, yes or no?
Yep.
Also taking money from their savings to spend on celebration. They are withdrawing to spend. It will also increase the level of withdrawals. Also transferring money from an account in one bank to a different bank. You are withdrawing from this bank and taking it to other bank. Are you withdrawing? You didn't spend it. You only withdrew from one bank to another bank. So it does not have any effect on your withdrawals, does it?
Yes.
I took 100,000 from bank A. I put it in bank B. The level of it's still the same. It doesn't change. I didn't take it to spend. I didn't take it to pay taxes. Do you get it? So the answer is D. Is it clear?
Very clear.
Question 26. Which approach is consistent with the Keynesian school of economic thoughts? Unemployment can still persist in the long run. For Keynesian, they talked about inflation, unemployment, and growth. So what they talked about is that no matter how we do it, unemployment will still be part of any economy. If there's no unemployment, then there will be increase in prices. Okay. C, 27.
What could be used to offset a
leakage
from the circular flow?
Leakage occurs when we are unable to spend more income That is when leakage occurs. Do you understand? So what will cause leakage here? An increase in investment. What would offset it? Because leakage comes when we cannot spend our money, when we can't spend, when we cannot spend income. That is when leakage comes. To offset it, to stop it, you have to invest. 27. D. 28.
In some countries, life expectancy has fallen, but the birth rate remains high, which effect will still have.
The working population tends to become a smaller part. Here, they said, if you talk about life expectancy has fallen, but the birth rate remains as high as possible, it means they are calculating the working population away from the total population. There's working population, that means the number of people that are employed are not employed. They are separating it from the total population. You get what I'm saying or not?
Yeah.
So that means the working population will tend to be smaller than the total population. So those that are working are less than the total number of people that are not working, the total number of the people in that country. 29. A government chief economist says that increasing the top rate of income tax from 40% to 45% is likely to reduce tax revenue by 2%. Which concept might explain this prediction? We call it Laffer curve. Laffer curve. And for the Laffer curve, what does it talk about? It talks about the relationship between taxation and the return or the revenue made from taxation. Laffer curve talks about taxation itself, the relationship taxation has with the revenue made from taxation. So it's C.
Okay.
The last one. Which combination of policies is most likely to reduce the rate of inflation? If inflation has to be reduced, government spending must reduce. Interest rates must increase. Direct taxes on household must also increase.
Okay.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
So the answer is B. Is it clear?
Very clear.
If government spending reduces aggregate demand, interest rate reduces spending, direct taxation reduces disposable income. Done. That's 2022 May, June. Now